You can see it's really frosty right now, but I am on a mission to collect some soil for my elderberry cuttings. This is what I'm looking for. This is my second lot. That's really unbuildable. It's very slopey. I take dirt from the sloped parts. Ingredient 2. Still rich humus from a stump. Got all these vines on it. So here's the humus. And if you want, you could keep little rocks in there for drainage, because we're not using perlite or any of that other mumbo jumbo. Might as well keep an alder leaf in there. Ingredient 1, ingredient 2. Now for the least pleasant of the three in terms of collection. Just you know how cold it is here. That's how cold it is. Just gonna do an operation here. And there we go. Okay. Nice rich poo. Chicken poo, stump humus, regular old land soil. So I did this last year. I got the same cuttings from the same company, and what I did wrong is I just stuck the cuttings into the ground. So this is how they look now. I did a pretty good job at eyeballing the amount of soil that I would need. So I'm going to talk about the two mistakes that I made. The first mistake was sticking the cuttings right into the ground, which everyone tells you to do. Oh, elderberries are so easy. You just cut a stick off and then stick it in the ground. It's going to work. Well, it did at first. They all leafed out. Let me show you an example of how I got duped. See how tame it all looks here? You're like, oh, I'll just put a little stick maybe right here. You know, like this is where I currently have a red elderberry, and you know, they always die back. You know, how about a nice you know, how about one that I can eat? And I'll just put it right here and it can go with this little or big stump. So what happens is you create this little space for your cute little cutting, and what happens, 50 gazillion weeds come in and shade it out. Now I've actually tamed this area a lot since last year, so it might have even worked this year. There's a lot of plants that I took out of here, but I can't take that risk again. All of them got shaded by plants that came up, and it was to a degree where I couldn't even locate them anymore. I'd find like a wood chip and go, is this the... So yeah, I think it was the shade that killed them, but who knows? I mean, it could have also been, you know, it got dry and it didn't get, you know, I don't irrigate, so I mean that could have been part of it, but they didn't get any sun. So they died. They all died. So now I'm starting them all in pots like you saw, and I'm gonna wait for them to develop some massive roots before I set them out. You know, with all the volunteer elderberries we get here, you would think that they would be more vigorous, but the ones that I plant are very slow growing. So I just have to be careful of them. The ones that I'm planting are not native here. They're Midwest elderberries. I want to have like one of everything, because it's probably like one of the best shrubs you can have. So I have the European nigras, I have the local species, and so what I've got now are the canadensis, if I can get them to live this time around. A second mistake that I made was scattering them in the landscape without labeling them. Just being like, oh, I'm just going to remember that that's an Adams there and that's a Bob Gordon and then, you know, and then like, and even if I forget, you know, I know, well, one of them, the berries are upside down and the other ones face up. So I'll figure it out later, you know, even if I forget. And I always never label, or I keep the original tag on and then they break and fade or whatever. So now it's going to be different this time. I know it is. Like, so now they're in their pots unlabeled. I don't know, but okay, so I got two varieties this time, or two cultivars. And one of them is in the red pots. Which one did I put in the red pots? Just kidding. One of them's in the red pots, but there's only two red pots. So 2 red pots and one that had like a tear. I'm going to remember that's one of them. And then the 3 regular black ones is the other cultivar. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to make sure I label them before I forget that, and then I'll make sure I'll label them when I set them out at some point, because I learned my lesson. So this is like a silly topic to make a long video on, because it's cutting, stick it in the pot. So I'm gonna end there. See you later. No. Those are my eggies. No. Go back. No. Go back. No.